Well, good morning. It's Sunday, 5th of May I think. Aye. And we're down at the Almond. Now, I have been down a couple of times this year. Once you know about, but I've been down a couple of times before and after that, just to see what's going on, but the river hasn't quite woken up, or it hadn't. Last time I was down, you know, it was still getting flooded a little, and the water was bloody freezing. But it looks absolutely perfect today. I've saw a fish rising as I come over the brig there, and there's a wee car park behind the restaurant thing. That's where I usually stop and get my waders on and everything. And I saw a fish somewhere around here coming up. I don't know if I can get to it from here though. But aye, the water's came down maybe 6 to 8 inches. It's cleared up lovely. It's absolutely perfect. You know, probably still won't catch anything, but this is probably the best day we've had this year. Conditions wise, you know, everything's been kind of right at the same time. There's been days where it's been warm but the water's been dirty and high, or the water's been like low and clear but it's been freezing bloody cold and there's no sun out and all that. But aye, it's good to be back on it. A wee blackbird in front of me there. So my plan for today is, because it's Sunday, I can't fish beat 1. That's off limits on a Sunday. So I'll be fishing from here, the brig, probably up to Moby Dick, maybe the posts around that area. Just see if anything's showing. The last time I was out, but I didn't even bother uploading that video. I didn't even edit the video actually, I just deleted it. It was crap. I mean, I never saw a single fish rise. Then for about 4 hours I think I was on the water, nothing. And so just thought, I'm not going to start putting like wets on. There's a discussion going on another page at the moment about using nymph still fly fishing, and I'm not going to get into that here. I prefer the dry, but you know, some people prefer, you know, different methods. That's fine, you do it your way. But so I'm just going to keep a watch here for a minute, see if that fish I saw over the brig comes up again. But I think I probably spooked it just by walking along the wee path, and there's the margins there underneath that kind of that big stone there, and down from that along that seam, you occasionally there's some big fish in there, but they'll only come up occasionally, and I haven't seen them yet, and that's been like 10-15 minutes since I was in getting my waders on and coming down and all that sort of thing. So what I'm probably going to do, let's go for a walk, is go up to the road bridge, just the other side of this wee bay here, and see if there's anything doing there, because that holds a lot of fish. Not anything big, but I'm not really fussed about the size of the fish, to be honest with you. I'm not just chasing big fish. So there's going to be a wee bit of noise unfortunately, because even though it's still Sunday morning, it's Sunday morning in Edinburgh, so everybody's in a hurry to get somewhere to sit on their arse and complain about the drive home. So yeah, the water's absolutely perfect today. There's a tiny little bit of colour in it. Not brown though, it's that kind of grey, kind of washed out. You know, there's been a big flood in the last few days, kind of grey. There's a little hatch of little, I don't know what they are, just little things. So I've got my standard Greenwell's Glory on. Oh, I've got, well, what have I got today? I've got a new reel and a new line. It's a John Norris line on a Gray's GR 300 or something. GTS 300. 12 foot leader. Usual setup. You know how it is, I'm a lazy bastard and I just use the same thing over and over again. There's probably a word for that. But aye, so, oops, I'm trying not to fall on my arse. So I'm just going to watch the pool under the brig here for a few minutes, see if anything pops up. If not, usual stuff, I'll see you at the Pines. If I don't see you at the Pines, I'll see you at Soggy Arse and so on. But aye, I'm quietly confident today that I might hook into something. The river's starting to wake up a little, but I'll probably just jinx myself and I won't see a fish for the whole day now. But aye, so if I don't see anything coming up here, the next time I'll see you, I'll be at the Pines. Caught one. Had my camera off there because I was just having a few like dick about casts. Wasn't really expecting to catch anything, but well, if I manage to get this to the net, that's first of the season. It's just a little one. I can feel it's only like a little kind of quarter-pounder sort of thing. But do you know what? That's okay. Let's see. Come on. Don't like to pick them up by the face like that. There we are. Lovely little brownie. Has it thrown the hook? I think it might have. It might make things easier for me. Let me see. Nah, it's got itself all wrapped up. Where is the hook? No, it's taking it quite deep. Right, hang on a second. I'm going to have to go and get my forceps and deal with this. Back in a second. Well, there you go. First of the season. Thanks for playing. And away it goes. Fantastic. Right. Blank broken. So that's a good start. Yeah, it was just direct out in front of me there at that where that big root is. I didn't see anything rising, I was just casting down, following that scene, see if anything would be tempted. So, feel better now. Right, first of the season, on my usual Greenwell's glory. So I think I'm going to move up to Soggy Arse now. I say I was quietly confident today, and that's put a wee spring in my step. Right, off we go. Right, so we're at Soggy Arse, and the wind's picked up a wee bit, kind of downstream wind, which isn't very helpful, but it's not too bad. There's a great big fucking enormous plane just went over, and you can still feel the turbulence from that, so that wind may just be caused by that and it will die down. But anyway, there's again, there's nothing shown, but this seam along here can be quite productive. I caught an absolute beauty out of here last season, and I know it holds fish. So similar to the Pines, the water looks perfect, but there's nothing showing. So I'm just going to have a few exploratory casts, see if I can tempt anything up. Certainly looks fishy. But that's never a guarantee, is it? So I was going to say something and I forgot what it was. Doesn't matter, I suppose. Just me waffling on. I would have expected to see at least something shown. I've been here, I always come and sit and watch the pool for a few minutes before I have a cast. And I know the fish here can be quite twitchy, but they will still show usually along this kind of area here and a wee bit downstream. But, you know, they are notoriously uncooperative. The big problem is I've always had with this pool, other than the fact that it's like a fucking ice rink, is there's like a few big flat rocks and deep channels, and you end up with like 4 or 5 currents all going in different directions at different speeds, so it can be kind of difficult sometimes to keep your line where you want it to be and your fly where you want it to be. So you probably get only just a few seconds when your fly first hits the water before it starts. Hang on. So you only get a few seconds but your flies like looks at least a little bit natural, so if the fish doesn't take it first time, there's no point in casting over it. Here, I get it again and again, it's not going to take it. It's already had a good look at it and it can see that it's not real. So you have to sort of just be lucky and drop your fly on the fish's nose most of the time. But if they're not shown, that's difficult. It's pure luck. So I'll have a few more casts here and then we'll turn round and go to the head of the pool. Oh man, three behind me. The winter storms have done some, I don't want to say damage, but they've certainly changed the makeup of this part of the river. All the structure that was here and was slowing the water down has been completely demolished. So it just runs straight through now, and you could see that about a week or so ago. Oh, there's a fish just over there. You could see that about a week ago, where what had been like kind of a wee holding pool was just a rapid. You know, it was just water was pushing right through without so much as a kiss my arse. So anything, oh, okay now, I hate this part of the river, I really do. It's an absolute hazard. I should put my felt soles on, but I don't like walking around in felt soles. And as I said, I think before, until they start giving them away for free, those are for special occasions only. So oops, that's miles away. Still a very, there it is. There's still a kind of very mild downstream breeze, which is kind of making it difficult to present my fly. But yeah, I think that's about right. Oh, let's try that again, shall we? I got snagged up in that bush behind me. I snapped a rod on that tree last season. So it's, I try to be careful of it, but in being careful of it, I find myself taking my eye off my forward cast. So what was I saying? I think this is probably as far as I'm going to come today. Simply because the wind's picking up and I know from experience that if it's like 10 mile an hour winds here, by the time I get round to the airport where it's open, you can add a good 50% onto that. So it's going to make it a little, just a little too difficult, I think. But it's been a good day so far. You know, I've caught one fish and I've seen quite a few coming up. So the river is starting to come to life. There's nothing shown in here at the moment, but it's always worth a cast in this pool. Just in that swirl there. I know there's big fish will sit. Yeah, I caught a few of them last year, didn't I? One of the best days fishing I've ever had. Well, certainly the best days wild fishing I've ever had. The best days fishing I've ever had has been at East Point on Skye. But it's the only time I quit fishing because I was too tired from catching fish. Every other cast was a 5, 6, 7 pound pollock. I think the biggest for the day was around 12. What a day that was. Lost count. I stopped counting after 30 fish because it didn't mean anything anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'll spend 10 minutes here just because I like this pool. The sewage overflow is currently not overflowing, which is good, or else I wouldn't be in the water. So I'll spend, say, 10 minutes or so just exploring, see if there's anything sitting around these different wee seams, and then I'm going to work my way back downstream. I'll maybe have a cast or two if I see anything rising that doesn't require me to like climb down a muddy bank or, you know, wade out through a big rocky pool or something. But unless I catch anything on the way back down, this is going to be it for today. So it's not a blank, which is good, because if I had another blank I was going to start crying, I think. You know, it's just like, come on, it's May, it should be spring by now. I mean, I don't expect the river to be leaping with fish all fighting to take my fly, but it should be better than this. You know, the fishing should be more alive. And the weather forecast isn't great for the next week or two. I might find myself, maybe next week, I'm not sure. Just depends on other commitments. I may find myself heading up to a howloch on the west coast, because they tend to fish a little better than the rivers. If it's not warm enough for the rivers, then the howlochs are, you know, they hold heat all through the winter. Did I just snap my fly off there? No, I didn't. Yeah, they act as big heat sinks, you know, and the fish down deep are still active. So I might actually take this rod, or I might take the 11-foot nymph rod up, I don't know. Just have a few casts, I just spend a day or so on one of the easier to reach reservoirs. There's a couple like Kilmannon and so on that fish well when they're on, but it's a proper mission to get there. But then you've got stuff like the green side, is it green fields, and like the Finloch, where you can get to relatively easy, but the fishing's not so great. So it's one of those kind of what to do moments. And you find yourself, fuck off duck, you find yourself at that junction at the, you know, the footpath. It's like, I could stop here and just fish the not so good reservoir and loch, or I could walk another river and, you know, still catch fuck all. Yeah, so one last thing, does anybody fish the leaving out by Kinross, coming out of Loch Leaving? Because I've been trying to find a day permit and it's not been easy. There's nothing on FishPal, you can't book it online there, and you get directed to the club's website and Facebook page, but there's nothing there either where you can buy it online. And when I messaged the club, said I'm looking to buy a day permit, how do I go about it? They just replied with the sluice house. Well, that doesn't tell me anything, does it? Doesn't tell me how much it is, when's the sluice house open, what do I need? You know, what if I get there at 9 o'clock on Monday morning and it doesn't open till 11? Or it doesn't open on a Monday at all? I mean, it wasn't very helpful. And I'm kind of planning to fish more kind of, what's what I'm looking for? More rivers, I suppose, but I'm not a full member. It's just like a day here and a day there, just to break things up. You know, it keeps it interesting for myself. Like, I want to go and fish the Tweed, different parts of the Tay, that sort of a thing, the Ness maybe. But the leaving's relatively close to me and I can get there in an hour, but no, nothing. So if anybody fishes it as a member of the club there, help me out. You know, I'm not going to poach the river. I know a couple of people who have said to me, look, just go and fish it, and if anybody challenges you, you can buy a permit there and then from a bailiff, or a, you know, but I'm not going to do that. I'm a bailiff here on the river, and I'm not going to go and poach somebody else's. That's not on. So if anybody can help, then please do. But anyway, I'll stop waffling now. So unless I catch something on the way home, this is me. So the river's, it's getting there, you know. We need a couple of weeks, that's just the temperature to rise a degree or two, and we should be grand. But until then, thanks for watching, and cheerio and rasta.